What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video, I'm going to be reviewing the first sequel to the 2012 Hunger Games movie, The Hunger Games 2, or The Hunger Games Catching Fire. It came out a year after 2012, 2013. And before I get into the review of The Hunger Games Catching Fire, I have to kind of clarify a couple of things I forgot to mention in my Hunger Games review, my Hunger Games 1 review. First off, I forgot to mention that The Hunger Games 1 got an 84% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which it definitely deserved. That's a little thing. The other big thing is, I mentioned in the last video that Katniss Everdeen participated in the 75th Hunger Games. I was wrong. And I apologize for that. She actually participated in the 74th Hunger Games. In this one, she participates in the 75th Hunger Games, or what's also called in Hunger Games universe, the Third Quarter Quell, which they celebrate every 25 years. So, they had a First Quarter Quell in year 25, Second Quarter Quell year 50, and Third Quarter Quell 75. So I just wanted to clarify that, and without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So this is definitely the sequel to The Hunger Games. A lot of the returning characters, Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Elizabeth Banks, Donald Sutherland, Woody Harrelson. I forgot to mention in the first movie, Lenny Kravitz, the singer, actually appears. He appears in the first movie. He appears in the second movie as well. And the big new character in the movie is the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman, who plays Plutarch. I think a guy named Plutarch. But anyway, he's a new character in the movie. One of the big new characters, Jenna Malone, also is a new character in the movie. She plays one of the Hunger Games participants, one of the past winners of the Hunger Games. So, I got to kind of get into the Third Quarter Quell. So basically, the Third Quarter Quell takes past Hunger Games winners. They do not select any new Hunger Games participants from the Quells. They didn't select any from the first, second, and they didn't select any from the third. So, they go ahead and they take past winners from past years and they pit them off against each other to see who the winner will be. Only one can win, essentially. So Katniss Everdeen, she is selected to be the participant for District 12. The woman participant. The man participant originally was supposed to be Woody Harrelson's character, but Peeta Mellark, played by Josh Hutcherson, he intervenes and he participates in the Hunger Games. He's a volunteer, much like Katniss Everdeen volunteered in the first movie. So anyway, the stakes are higher in this one. Past winners, all against each other. These guys are experienced. All the Hunger Games winners are just so experienced. Not like the first movie where everybody was selected for the first time ever to be in the Hunger Games. They didn't have any experience at all. They had no idea what they were kind of getting into. Not a whole lot of idea in some ways. There's a general idea in the whole thing of what was to come in the Hunger Games, but not to the level that they showed in the first movie and the second movie. But anyway, Katniss Everdeen, Peeta Mellark, they face past winners, and they're very talented. They're very good at what they do. So this is yet again another adventure to try to emerge victorious in these Hunger Games. I forgot this first part of the plot. I just remembered I forgot the first part, kind of. They're on a victory tour for the 74th Hunger Games. Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark. They both won in the first movie, so they're on a victory tour, and President Snow basically has to intervene. He tells Katniss to, because in the first movie, what she did at the ending before she wins the entire thing was considered an act of defiance by the Capitol. Her win was considered an act of defiance, essentially. So, President Snow, in the second movie, he comes to Katniss Everdeen's house, Victor House. They have a big Victor house that they live in. And he tells her basically, you have to say that you won because of the undying love for Peeta. And you can't say that you won because you wanted to start a rebellion or anything like that. There's ideas of rebellion in that first movie after Katniss Everdeen wins. And throughout the entire Hunger Games sequence, you see that these people from the 12 districts, they want to revolt. They think Katniss Everdeen is the symbol of hope in the nation of Panem, and they look to revolt against the Capitol. And in this second one, it's much of the same thing. And they really start revolting. You really see the first semblances of revolt in this second movie. You really do. There's just more resentment among all the 12 districts against the Capitol. There's definitely more of that. And you just see they're sick and tired of how the way the Capitol treats them, and the way the Capitol just lets some of the people go in the Hunger Games and just let them get killed, essentially. And they want to go up and they want to revolt. They want an uprising, basically. But in this second one, you definitely see, as I said before, the stakes get higher in this movie. There's no doubt about that. The sequences in the Hunger Games weren't as, they weren't as dynamic as the first Hunger Games sequence. You know, the whole action in the Hunger Games 1. I think it was better and simpler than the second Hunger Games action sequences when they're in the Hunger Games themselves. There is this scene where there are monkeys attacking Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark and some of the allies, some of the other Hunger Games participants who kind of team up. The Hunger Games also is a way to form alliances as well with the other winners. You can form alliances, but at the end there's only one winner. So, basically in the sequence, there are baboons, or monkeys generally, who attack the group. Big, vicious monkeys. And I have to say, I did not really like it. I didn't like the sequence. It didn't really do anything for me. I mean, the idea of huge monkeys attacking them, I mean, come on. Even though they looked very serious and all that kind of thing. Big and serious and just dramatic and all that. I have to think CGI was kind of used for it in some ways. I didn't really like the whole events of the monkeys attacking the Hunger Games participants. It just didn't really do anything for me. What I would have liked to see, maybe leopards or cheetahs, which they kind of had in that sequence. In one of the other sequences of the movie, you had panthers, cheetahs, whatever you call it, a big cat, basically. I'll just say a big cat, a couple big cats invading or attacking the Hunger Games participants. They should have just ran with that instead of putting the baboons or the monkeys or whatever you call them in the movie itself as as some enemies in the Hunger Games forest. So that was one thing I did not like about it. I thought it was pretty silly, to tell you the truth. I just there should have been a different animal in that sequence instead of a big monkey. It's just I didn't really like it. So in my review, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm still going to give it a good review because I thought the movie was good other than that sequence itself. There was another thing that I didn't really particularly love, but I can't really remember what it was. But anyway, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It got an 89% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which I would have given it lower if I were in charge of Rotten Tomatoes. I would have given it lower than the first one, but I'm obviously not in charge of Rotten Tomatoes, so I can't really do anything about that. But anyway, a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this was a good movie. It was very entertaining. Other than that sequence with the monkeys, it was well made. It was a good sequel to the second, or to the Hunger Games 1, for sure. And without further ado, that is it for the Hunger Games Catching Fire review. D-Rock 1992 out.